At NAB, MiMojo introduces a solution for uploading your video quickly and at full resolution. This is MacVoices. Today's MacVoices is supported by MacVoices After Dark. Uncensored, off-topic, and always off the wall. MacVoices After Dark is available as a benefit to our Patreon subscribers. Sign up at patreon.com/MacVoices. MacVoices is in Las Vegas for NAB. I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, we're in the MiMojo, I get it right? MiMojo booth with Mick, talking about what MiMojo is. And this is the first time for you on MacVoices, and the first time we've met.
It is.
So tell me about MiMojo.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. And MiMojo, your mojo, we're talking about everybody's mojo. So the idea for MiMojo is that there presently isn't a really good way to send video files from the mobile device for professional uses. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of different ways. There's texting, there's WhatsApp, there's WeTransfer and things like that. But there's nothing really optimized for mobile where you can send it easily directly from the device, full resolution by default, with the ability to compress if you want to, with the source metadata. So an example for this is mobile journalists who need to send the raw footage back to somebody who's editing quickly because it's breaking news. Right now, we just make it easy for them. Our main feature is this 3-step, super intuitive upload wizard where they select the files. They can actually trim the files, so down from 5 minutes down to those 10 seconds, keeping the resolution, add the metadata, title, description, date shot, things like that, have a lot of stuff autofill, and then get a sense of how's their connection, how fast it's going to take, how much are they sending. They can compress then to send faster and then upload the full res later. Then they send the footage. And the producers, the editors, get notified when the footage is there. They download it, they can edit it, use it for the initial purposes, but the main thing is they got all that source metadata. So it actually can go straight to the archive and their growing value of their archive over time. And the number one complaint I get from archivists over the years is that they've got a ton of footage, they can't find it, and it was never ingested properly. So our idea is that the point of upload is really, really valuable. If you do it wrong, it limits you downstream. It's very costly. If you do it right, it opens up a lot of possibilities, increases speed, increases usage, and increases forms of monetization.
Okay, so what are the mechanics of this? So I have a DSLR in my hand. Yeah. I shoot something compelling. Now I want to send it to an editor or somewhere else.
Yeah.
How am I getting it from the card and the camera to you?
So right now it's really meant for mobile devices like a phone. That's our app. We will have the ability to do that at some point in the future, but what we're launching right now is directly from the phone to being able to send the files. So just think of it as an app that's optimized for sending video.
So are you tapping cell? Are you tapping Wi-Fi? Are you tapping anything you can find?
You can do either one. So you actually have the options. You can see what's faster. And it's a really robust upload protocol. So if you're uploading, if you're on a bus, you just shot something, you're on the bus going to the next location, you go through a tunnel, lose connectivity, it picks it up on the other side and keeps uploading. But we found, we are videographers. I'm a videographer. I'm a mobile journalist, and I work with them as well. I'm a producer. I'm an editor. I do all these things. So I'm intimately familiar with the pain points. So we've really designed it for the front-end user to give them as much information in the field as possible. So that's why in the upload wizard we tell you what is your connection, how much are you uploading, how long will it take. So we give you a lot of options. Well, maybe that's going to take too long right now. Let's get to Wi-Fi. Or, you know what? This is breaking news. I just got this incredible shot. I want to get it to air as soon as possible. And then maybe you can compress it down to a decent resolution, but it's a lot easier to send at that point.
So that was going to be my next question is, are you sending the native file? Are you sending a full res file, or am I able to choose?
You have the option to do both. Actually, you have the option to send the full, native file, whatever the form. If shot in ProRes, you can use ProRes. You might want to wait till, Wi-Fi at that point because these are big files. But even if you trim it down from a 5-minute ProRes file for 422 HQ, let's say, down to 10 seconds, that 10 seconds is the native format. And if you do choose to compress it, then it'll just compress it down to the default H.264, which is good for many purposes. But I believe in keeping every frame. I love the full source resolution because there's so much incredible footage getting shot right now that gets compressed, gets published, and it's going to disappear. The source footage is going to disappear into the ether. The other thing, though, about formatting and resolution and compression is, let's say I upload something to you that's been shot on 30 frames a second from a mobile device, and you're a European broadcaster, and you really need that to be 25 frames. Since it's in the cloud, our business users will be able to actually compress or transcode the files before they download. So when you, let's say, sitting at that desk, you're waiting for those files, and you get that link saying download the files, you actually have the option to transcode it any number of ways to the format for your specifications. And there are presets and things like that. We'll have integrations directly into NAMs, but we give you, the downloader, control over that as well, which is really, really appealing. It's the number one feature that our European broadcasters are requesting.
Interesting. We were talking before the interview that you had an interesting Genesis story that I think is worth commenting on, even though neither one of us want to be political. This is a fact of life, that this is the way it happens, and sometimes good things come out of it.
Yeah, it's historic. It was a historic event. One of the biggest historic events in the last 100 years probably is January 6th, the insurrection. And we had about a dozen, this is another company of mine, with Clippin. We had clients with about a dozen videographers there, and we were groundbreaking in the whole DSLR revolution 10 years ago, which is why I'm seeing all these opportunities with mobile right now. The parallels are very similar, but with that workflow, we had DSLR shooters, as you asked before, like how do you get the footage immediately up? It's a little clunky. You add a couple extra steps, and they're not going to do it. You lose people. Technology gets in the way. So I'd been ringing the alarms about, mobile is coming, mobile is here. We have to start using mobile. I would shoot tests of footage. My clients would say, wow, that's really good B-roll. And I'd say, thank you. I know what I'm doing. I shoot good B-roll. But did you realize I shot this on my phone? And then their jaws would drop. They had no idea. They were just seeing footage, which is what we want them to see. It's not gimmicky. So we had DSLR shooters there, and when I saw the barricades get knocked over, I picked up the phone, I called my clients, I said, tell everybody to start shooting on mobile. And because of that, they're able to get historic footage out, hopefully, which will be preserved for generations. But the problem was, and I'm good with problem-solving workflow issues, I love it, 12 different videographers uploaded us 12 different ways. WhatsApp, not realizing that the footage was getting compressed from 1080 to 540, right? And then it's on a group chat, a group thread, and it disappears out of sight, out of mind. Where's the metadata? Where's the captions? Who actually uploaded this? Complete messy workflow. Google Drive, any possible way they could have sent it, and there were problems each way. And again, at the time, we were able to roll with it and get the footage out, get the metadata. It was, we cleaned up the workflows. But then I realized there's a huge opportunity to streamline the workflow from the point of upload from a mobile device for professional uses. And that's when we started thinking about and then developing MiMojo as a tool for anybody who shoots video, but especially professional users and anybody who wants to access marketplace endpoints.
So to be clear, this is an app that takes the native video that I've shot with my iPhone, that I'm shooting, I'm not shooting with an iPhone now, but I could be, and then I drop it into your app and it transfers over back at your office. There's an app running to receive it. So what happens is it's actually an app on your phone, and it's a 3-step upload wizard. You say upload, I'm going to upload, you select your video files. Let's say you want to trim some of those. You can trim them right there. Okay, next step, add the metadata. What's the story? What's the title? What's the description? And it autofills your name. It autofills the date. You can edit certain fields get autofilled. But then the wealth of metadata from the mobile device and that are in the video files themselves, we take all that stuff as well. Third step is confirmation screen. What's your speed? How long is it going to take? Do you want to compress these files, or do you want to send the full resolution? You make those decisions, press upload. It starts uploading to the cloud. We're in AWS.
and then your receiver, once it's 100% uploaded, your receiver receives a link to download it. And it's as easy as that. And when they download it, again, they have the option for the business will have the option, because we're rolling this out, they will have the option to transcode in the cloud even before they download. So at the point of download, we give them those controls as well. And that's pretty much it. It's just a better way of sending files to streamline workflows and create more options for that footage downstream.
I got to get just a little bit technical, or not technical, but I guess specific. So how much, I'm not sure how to ask this, how much space do you allocate in AWS for that? I mean, as a user of your service, do I buy from you? Do I have a limit? I mean, I have to have a limit, obviously, but how does that work?
Yeah, so we're going to have a few different models. Again, we're going to roll out the beta at the end of next month. We have a few different models, and it's a freemium model. There'll be a free version, which will be really front-loaded with all these, with a lot of really good features that most people don't need anything beyond that. The casual user, let's say. You'll have the ability to upload 2 gigs at a time, so you can still do if you have more than 2 gigs, you can do multiple uploads. You'll have the metadata form, and you'll be able to send it to anybody. They don't need an account, so we make it nice and easy. That's a free account. You can just send video files to people better, faster, with the metadata. It's just a better experience for sending and receiving. Then there is the Pro version. The Pro version actually has more. You can send up to 100 gigs at a time. They're saved for longer in the cloud. And you're able to get assignments. You're kind of in a network, think of it that way, for the business users, the enterprise users. And on the enterprise level, of course, you can add multiple accounts. You have custom settings for download and transcoding and things like that. And you actually have an assignment manager. So you can actually create the assignment, add it to one of the pro users, and then you have real-time information. They're able to, there are notes, there's kind of a chat, think of it that way, where you can communicate with the person about that assignment. And when they upload, you get confirmation. You can give feedback if you want to, and then you download the files. So it's kind of a assignment manager and a better way to send the files from assignment, all the way to delivery.
Interesting. The website where folks go to learn about all this.
So that's mymojo.co.
MIMOJO.co.
MIMOJO.co. Exactly. There's a lot of information there. They can sign up, and we're especially interested in talking to enterprise users right now. We're getting a lot of interest in this because we're solving some big problems, and we think we're solving really complex problems very simply. And of course, that's what everybody wants. You have to get the technology out of the way. I've had videographers in tears trying to upload large video files in WhatsApp without it getting compressed. And the workflow for that is just a nightmare. And they're shooting. They're in the middle of a rally or a riot or something like that. They don't have time for this. Make it easy. Make it a few clicks and send. And that's what we're trying to do.
I love the origin story, not because of the insurrection, but just that you recognized the need and you fulfilled it.
Yeah, well, I'm a shooter. As I said, I'm a shooter. I'm a producer. I like getting my hands on this stuff. I've got a bag full of gear, and I love asking people, "Want to see what's in my bag?" And they get it. They get it. They're like, "Wow, I've got a full mobile system in the bag." But I don't think I would have these ideas if I didn't have my hands on this stuff. I spent a lot of years on sets. I spent a lot of years in post-production. I spent a lot of years producing and editing, and I'm allergic to friction points. I'm a creative. I love doing the stuff where I just lose track of time. And as an editor, of course, if you're dealing with trying to find the files, or if you're an archivist, where is this footage, who owns it, and stuff like that, it's all just completely draining. It's a complete waste of time. So I would rather just help everybody keep doing the fun stuff, and again, increase usage, increase speed to market, and increase, grow ROI is the other thing. And enterprise businesses love to hear ROI, and this is a great way to grow ROI.
I'm going to steal that line. I'm allergic to friction. I like that a lot. I love it. Mick, great to meet you. Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks for stopping by. See you soon.
Folks, we'll have more from NAB in Las Vegas. I'm Chuck Joyner. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.